Faded Glory, World War III Operation Resurgence. Chapter 4. The Global Stage. In Beijing's Central Military Command, General Xu Tao, a 62-year-old strategist with a deep knowledge of Sun Tzu, pored over maps and intelligence reports. Russian forces were advancing faster than anticipated, seizing key towns along Heilongjiang's border. APTO reinforcements from Japan, South Korea, and Australia were weeks away, tied up in logistics or political debates. Premier Jiang Wei, under pressure from his Politburo, demanded immediate action. "Heilongjiang is our oil, our gas, our pride," he said, slamming his fist on the table. "We cannot lose it." Xu authorized a counterstrike on Russian oil and gas facilities near Sakhalin Island. On August 4th, Chinese Type 055 destroyers in the Sea of Japan launched hypersonic YJ-21 missiles, destroying 2 platforms and a supply ship, killing 180 workers. The strike sent oil prices soaring and enraged Morozov, who vowed a response the world will feel. In Washington, President Emily Harper, a 52-year-old former governor of Oregon, dismissed warnings of Russian aggression. Her administration, focused on China's growing influence in the Pacific, was blindsided by the Heilongjiang invasion. "Russia's too weak for this," Harper told her national security team, citing intelligence reports of Moscow's depleted forces. But as reports of Russian tanks in Sufenhi flooded in, Harper faced a grim reality. The U.S. was unprepared for a war in Asia. APTO and NATO held emergency talks. Japan's Prime Minister Aiko Tanaka urged restraint to avoid escalation, while Canada's Prime Minister David Leclerc pushed for strikes on Russian soil. General Xu, aware of Russia's 152nd Missile Brigade in Blagoveshchensk moving tactical nuclear missiles toward the border, ordered a risky airstrike. On August 4th, Chinese J-20 stealth fighters, supported by KJ-500 electronic warfare planes, struck the brigade's convoy, destroying 4 missile vehicles. 1 vehicle escaped, its location unknown, raising fears of a nuclear escalation. Morozov, shaken but defiant, promised a reckoning. Chapter 5. The War at Sea. On August 5th, Russian Yasen-class submarines in the Sea of Japan launched hypersonic Zircon missiles at Chinese oil platforms off Shandong province. The attack killed 320 workers, crippled China's offshore energy production, and sent plumes of black smoke into the sky. In response, Chinese submarines struck Russia's Arctic facilities, destroying the Yamal LNG plant and sinking the nuclear icebreaker Yakutia. The war, once confined to Heilongjiang, now spread across Asia's seas, threatening global trade routes through the South China Sea and beyond. In Harbin, APTO forces, led by U.S. Marine Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Lin, held the city against Volkov's relentless assaults. Lin, a 38-year-old Texan with a reputation for cool-headedness, commanded a mixed unit of U.S. Marines, Australian commandos, and Japanese infantry. They deployed AI-driven pack hunter drones, small autonomous vehicles that targeted Russian fuel trucks and ammunition depots. The drones, still in prototype, were few but deadly, sowing chaos in Russian supply lines and buying time for reinforcements. Sergeant Liu Yang, a 27-year-old Chinese soldier, survived a cluster bomb attack on a refugee convoy on Highway G10-11. The bombs, dropped by a Russian Su-34 ground attack aircraft, turned the convoy into a river of fire. Liu's wife, Mei, and their 5-year-old son, Hao, were killed. "I held them as they died," Liu said, his voice breaking. "I kept asking, where was APTO? Where was anyone?" Wounded but alive, Liu joined a growing resistance movement operating behind Russian lines, earning the nickname Harbin's Ghost. Please like and subscribe to learn more.